And next week is bringing a huge, big impulse to all of us. Many of us feel maybe somewhat worn out or defeated right now. Maybe life has thrown you a curveball, whether it's through work, through your relationship, your finances, and you see yourself in this continual struggle and don't see a way out. What is absolutely important right now is that we come to terms with ourselves, that we say yes to our true self, and that we step into this. Because this transformation that is going on here globally is happening with or without you. Welcome everybody to our daily sacred self, and today the energy update for the coming week 37, the 4th till the 10th of September. My name is Jona Bryndis and I'm an energy healer and energy coach, guiding you through these collective unseen energies that we all are affected by and sometimes have a hard time talking about or pinpointing or just simply find words for. Thank you all for coming to this live event. This is the last energy update and energy meditation here on Skype for me. I'm moving to YouTube Live. As you guys all know, we are premiering the daily energy prayer at 11:30 a.m. US time every day. It's a free event for everybody. It takes about 20 minutes. For prayer requests, I only take prayer requests from people who actually come to these events. And we have a little bit of time to talk about why we want to do something like this and what the power of prayer is. Just on a side note, there is no particular denomination, no particular religion that is being promoted here. We are generally helping people to connect with higher power from within themselves and how to tune into this inner experience of your higher self. Yes, I'm very, very excited about this. Please feel free to invite friends, family. It is not linked to any of the other services and programs that I'm offering. If I look into the next week, those of you who have been watching the energy forecast for September, you may have already gotten the gist. It's quite serious now, all right? So there are, seen from a collective energetic standpoint, quite intense transformations that are basically, well, I don't want to say that they're coming to us. It's more like we are being pulled into them. And here we want to talk about the subjective aspect of that, how that feels for us from within ourselves. And next week is bringing a huge, big impulse to all of us, because many of us feel maybe somewhat worn out or defeated right now. Maybe life has thrown you a curveball, whether it's through work, through your relationship, your finances, and you see yourself in this continual struggle and don't see a way out. This is the collective energy that we are in right now, which means it doesn't really matter to, worry about where this is coming from and why and causation. What is absolutely important right now is that we come to terms with ourselves, that we say yes to our true self, and that we step into this. Because this transformation that is going on here globally is happening with or without you. And those of you who have been on this path of listening to their inner impulses, to their inner or deeper and sometimes also hidden or blocked or blind spotted parts of yourself, you guys will actually feel that all this work that you have been doing is starting to pay off. So what we are facing here as this wave, and this has a bit to do with the lunar cycles. We have a very, very powerful new moon coming up next week, and you're already going to feel this coming this weekend. To keep my energy tip short for you, this weekend should be the weekend where you make clear decisions. By the end of Sunday night, you're gonna have to have some kind of plan how you want to proceed, be it your relationship, your workplace, the place where you live. And what makes this difficult right now is this defeated feeling, this worn out feeling, because we have been dealing with all these adverse circumstances and changes and backs and forths and opening up and closing down and all these kind of things for so long already that you might feel you can't take it anymore. The only way you can get through this now is to actually take it full frontal. You're gonna have to work with this, and if you choose to do so, you will get through this. Most of you here, my audience, have already been in these waters for a long time. All right, if you've made it that far, guys, without severe acute anxiety, depression or addictions, then you are already through the worst. Because right now what this is doing is forcing all the fake self aspects, all the shadow aspects, the coping mechanisms that we have used and misused to just get by or to just survive our life without actively participating. Those are going to collapse now. And rightly or not rightly, but it's the right thing. It's the catharsis that is need to actually step into change. It's not enough to just dip your toes. It's not enough to just maybe look into spirituality a little bit, and even outdoor actions such as going to church once a week might not be enough. This is something that has to do with becoming and with embodiment. And this sort of this bubble, this defeated feeling feels like a spell almost. I want you to see it that way. From an energetic point of view, we don't see it as mystical. It's a low pressure area, and you're gonna have to learn how to maneuver through this. And all this talk here that I have been doing for years, I have 10-year anniversary these days, okay, is all pointing at the same thing, namely listening to your inner impulse. Without a spiritual contextualization, it's not possible to make sense of what is going on right now. You will end up, like most people, in a place that is so split, so schismatic in your own head. Yeah, we call this, or psychologists call this, a cognitive dissonance, that you're actually not able to think straight. In fact, you're probably not even able to feel straight, to know what you're even feeling. And the energy that is coming in here is actually a very positive energy. If you look at it from that perspective, that clearly indicates that we as humans are kind of designed to learn through pain and through loss. We learn through pain 2.5 times faster than through positive reinforcement. Did you know this? Yeah, so we won't change anything until the pain of where we're at becomes greater than the fear of the unknown. And in that, this purge energy, this catharsis, is something that would really upgrade our life. So those of you who can see this, you will find the courage, you will find the clarity within yourself to follow through. And the follow through, this is where many of you then get confused, doesn't mean that you have to have all the answers. You have to have somewhat of a plan. And that plan should entail two things. Number one, whatever is unhealthy for you, whatever is not life promoting, not expansive, what doesn't align you to truth, to freedom, and to love from within yourself is unhealthy. Yeah. Everything that goes against that, you're going to have to say no, no more. You might look at something like a therapy or something like a big transition in your life if you do this, but you can no longer be captivated by this fear, because this fear pulls you into your own darkness, into that sort of defeated feeling now. It's very, very clear. Number two, you need to have some kind of an idea, and this needs to come from within yourself, a reference point, a feeling, what purpose is. And here's where many of you get scared, because you can't quite feel yet what your purpose is, or, which is actually more accurately stated, you don't trust in what you're feeling, and so you don't have the courage to actually follow through. My tip for you is that you focus and you hone in on things that are meaningful for you. What does bring meaning to you? And here is where we all need a little bit of discipline, because our schismatic mind, the part in us that keeps asking, but what if, or tries to anticipate the next doom, or tries to control everything so that you can feel safe. That part in you, you're gonna have to recognize that that's a schism in you. That's a duality, and that is not expansive. That is not helping you to move forward. In fact, it does the opposite. It contracts you, and it focuses you on lack and fear of loss. So every abundance coach knows this. The big problem that we are all facing when caught in this schism is that we can't stop thinking about the things that we are afraid of, or the things that we fear that we're going to lose, or the things that might get hard. We can't get past that. And as you are ruminating and worrying about all these fears, you are energizing lack. You are energizing the loss. And in order to overcome this and finally move toward healing, toward improvement, toward expansion, you're going to have to say yes to honoring yourself, wanting to only allow things that are healthy for you, that improve your ability to express yourself in a loving way, in a caring way, and in a healing way, not just for yourself, but also for others. Anger and rage and all these emotions that we are experiencing throughout the day, they all have purpose, guys, and it is important to express them. But if you get stuck in your disappointment or that defeated feeling, and you become passive and apathic and motivationless, okay, you are basically telegraphing, out for all the whatever you want to call this dark forces out there, that you are ready, to succumb to that darkness. You see this and feel this in the intensity that I have here lately in these energy talks and energy updates, because this is not the time to dither around. This deep spiritual impulse that is coming in for you now, asks you to explore and discover and really work with what higher power is. And that higher power can only be embodied if you can feel this from within. This is nothing external. This is really, really important. And it expresses, or it comes into expression through your values and through what you deem meaningful. Okay, so see this as your upgraded version calling you in, pulling you in. See this as you basically finally answering that call. And don't shy away from working with others. All this segregation and us separating from others and seeing others as hostile, guys, has isolated you and has added to that place that you find yourself in, where you feel lonely and where the world indeed looks hostile. You have to connect with others to feel what higher power can actually do. And it needs to be communicated in your relationships, at work, everywhere every space that you are in. You need to communicate what is meaningful for you and what no longer works for you. Say no more. All right, this is serious stuff, guys. This is root stuff, and that always means that we have to go back to basics. We have to go to what we can do, all right? Not the fantasy, the big ideal and perfect. Those are all lower vibratory concepts. You have to go with what works, and you might need a coach or a therapist or someone who can help you through the steps. This is not a one-time event, guys. This is a transformation process. And, if you're asking me, if I, put energy work and neurology and psychology together, I can assure you that this is a process that probably takes at least a year or year and a half for you to actually successfully change your life into a higher expression. So as a consequence of this, and also as a consequence of me shifting my work more and more towards non-profit work, which is a lot of time. I already work like 14, 16, 18 hours a day, guys. I can no longer take one-time personal energy coaching sessions. I hope you understand this. I can only work now with people who are willing to commit to that process. I have the Soul Self Journey, I have the Grace Self Journey, I have the Heart Warrior Program, the Sacred Self Healing Program, the Energy Course, the Business Training Program. I have many different alternatives. If you don't have the money to work with me directly, which is understandable, then take advantage of all these free events that I offer here every single day. So there is no excuse anymore. Dipping your toe is not enough. This needs to be addressed. Some of the things that are coming at us now have to do with our physical, have to do with our body. You're gonna have to take this seriously, guys. This is not about the virus scare. This is about all the things that come with this. It's very, very unhealthy, and it's taken a toll on your body. And there are many things that I have been talking about for years and years and years, such as nutrition, such as hydration. You're gonna have to focus on this more. You're gonna have to detoxify your system on a physical and energetic level from all these things that have accumulated in you and that have already worn down your system. You're gonna have to make some conscious, serious steps in changing your diet, changing your lifestyle, changing the way you live. This is no kidding now, guys. All right? This next week is bringing in sort of the reset impulse. It's the purge. Okay? So you're going to have to respond to that, because this new perspective that you are gaining right now is showing you the way. If you don't answer that call, you're going to feel left behind. You're going to feel isolated and alone. You can no longer afford to waste your life force with meaningless things. The mistake you're all doing is that you're trying to maintain the old. You're trying to hold on what has already proven to you not to work. And that needs to stop now. Focus, on really finding what matters to you, the people that matter to you, the relationships that matter to you, the work that matters to you. If you feel your life is meaningless, then that's probably true. Then do something about it. Don't sit there and get drowned by self-pity. You have to go and do something. If you feel the impulse to help others, do this in a wise and selfless way. Yeah, you can organize groups, you can do online prayers like I do, you can do meditations, you can work with kids, you can work with elderly, you can pass out food. There's many different things that you can do, where you can volunteer, where you can come together with people who follow the same intention. You're gonna have to love your inner truth more than your fear. Let your true self show you the way and remind you of the true purpose of this life's experience. So this concludes the official energy update for this next week. What you hear in the background, by the way, are Florida cicadas, crickets. It can be very loud. It's not anything in your headset or your computer. That's my background noises. As you know, I work outside in my healing tent. A very good reason for this, when I mentioned detoxifying, I also mean your house. All right, I cannot do energy work inside my house. That would jeopardize my family. So I do it outside, and that means I have to deal with weather. I have to deal with sirens or airplanes occasionally, because I choose to be surrounded by plants, by nature, that help me to balance my energy so that I can help you. We have a few minutes to just kind of process together, maybe to share your experiences, your comments. Obviously, I'm not the only person who is stepping up and who has dedicated their life's work to helping other people. But who wants to share, maybe here in the chat, even after we're done with our energy meditation, what this deeper inner work has helped you change in your life?
I'll share quickly, Jona. Cheryl from Canada calling.
Hi, Cheryl.
I've known you for many years, and I have been working directly with you, I don't know, maybe 6 years, I can't remember. I get teary when I think of how you have guided me to change my life, how you have shown me where I may have been off center, what could use some rebalancing. You have really assisted me, because you didn't do any of this. I did it all. I recognize that. But you have shown me the path. I am not the same person that I was 6 years ago, and I'm so grateful to evolve along beside you, because I've watched you evolve, your programs changed, and I am a faithful believer. If we find someone that we resonate strongly with, and we set our mind to do so and our heart to do so, we can change our life totally. And you have assisted me in doing that with myself, and I am very grateful. So for anyone out there who is wondering if it's magic, no, it's not magic. It's a lot of dedication.
Hard work.
It's hard work. And there's no woo-woo to it. It's totally a dedication to the path, to the journey. And for me, I'd call it like an excavation of my soul, because I was so polluted with my own thoughts and my warpedness that I needed to see how to see. And that's what you've taught me. And I'm very grateful for that. So anyone who is thinking about joining along, this is life-changing. So again, thank you, Jona.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for the hearts. I think those hearts are for you, Cheryl. Tina Marie sharing, it confirms the feeling of big change. I like that, Tina Marie. That's what I can see too in people, is sometimes it just needs to be spoken in clear words. We're not just making this up, guys. And those of you that are seasoned, that are a little older, that have been around this energetic spiritual contextualization for decades, you have been feeling this all along, and you always felt like the fringe dweller or like the tinfoil person, right? Because that's how other people looked at you, because on the outside there was nothing going on. Well, now it's going on, and now it's clear what I, and all you wonderful healers and light workers and shamans and body workers and doctors and nurses and therapists that felt that very same calling, what you have been feeling all along. This is what we have been practicing for, guys. This is what is happening here right now, is purpose. This is why you're feeling the way you're feeling. And this is what has been coming in for you for a long time. You've practiced for this time. Now you're gonna have to find a way to contextualize this. How can you be of service? Obviously, you have to honor yourself first. You have to work with this with yourself first. And the biggest, step that one can take is to accept reality, to accept things the way they are. And when I say accept, I don't mean to say to agree with it. You can disagree with what is, but you cannot work with it if you don't want to see it. I like, Cheryl, what you said about that my work helped you to see. I never tell anybody what to do. I help people to remove the layers that prevent them from seeing for themselves. Then let's move on, guys. Let's get straight into working with these September energies directly. I've picked the energy alignment, which is a byproduct of my monthly energetic tune-up sessions, where I help people see the main aspects of the coming month and basically send this energy through them and give them personal readings, like how this is going to affect them and what the main sort of self-transformatory processes are for them that they need to focus on. And whenever I finished the energy alignment for that group, I then make it public domain and free for everybody on SoundCloud. Here in the daily Sacred Self, we go in and we analyze this a little bit so that we can better understand it. The theme or the name of this energy alignment is synchronicity of purpose. And I just want to say a few words about what this even means. We all have some kind of image in our heads what purpose means. Most of us, without even further contemplating about it, think of purpose as something like fate or destiny. Some of you perhaps as karma. Those of you who have a more neutral and less fearful understanding of karma, you can see the connection between purpose and karma. It is something that is kind of almost like pre-programmed in you in a positive way. It is something that you came into this world with. And it materialized in all your life's experiences, pulling you into a certain direction. You all know what I'm talking about. It's that intense impulse that I mentioned earlier. And sometimes it does that in ways where things that don't work for you or that are unhealthy, that are toxic or abusive, that they repeat until you make that one step where you have enough courage to change it. And as I've mentioned earlier, unfortunately, it's part of our human nature to not really wanting to rock the boat or to move out of our comfort zone. And so it comes that we often need a crisis or a huge big scare or some kind of rock bottom type of experience for us to finally realize that this change has to come from within ourselves. Okay? And this is what the synchronicity of purpose speaks about. It reminds you that there is a part of you that has been speaking to you all along. And it creates synchronicities in life, yeah, which we could also call karmic patterns. Yeah, their negative expression or lower expression, in their higher expression, it comes to you as sudden, unexpected support, sudden, sort of lucky, seemingly lucky events where you make one step and 5 new doors open up and you are suddenly in a place that you couldn't even imagine, that your ego mind couldn't even make up 5 minutes earlier. It is the synchronicity in you that has finally aligned to what you are putting out into your world. It's like a positive conspiracy. It's like the universe is conspiring to deliver to you what it is that you need to go into your higher expression. So let's experience this from within right now. Let the voice guide you. You can lean back now. I'm turning myself off and turning the music on. Just one sec. Thank you, by the way, for continuing to share here in the chat about the work with transCODES. Yeah. The love, the warmth, the empathy, and the care is what allows us to feel purpose. The warmth in your heart in a cold world, in a materialistic world where even science has gone dark. Yes, that's what we need. You can listen to this energy alignment whenever you want. You can download it from SoundCloud. The link is here in the chat. And you will also find the link for the Soul Self Journey. That's one of my most personal programs for those of you who now decide to really get serious. Other than that, these spots here on Wednesday and Friday are going to be replaced by other volunteers who do these sacred selves. I will continue to do the energy talk on Wednesdays and the energy update on Fridays, but on YouTube. So yes, please go to YouTube and follow the link. Hopefully I'll work this out, how to have one link for all sessions. It will be a continual streaming link, so to speak. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you are going to receive a like a reminder email when it's starting. Again, I'm taking prayer requests, but only from people who are present live, okay? Which means you can't send them to me and expect me to administer that. I need you to be an active participant in that. That's really, really important. This is why I do this. Obviously, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of expenses too. I'm very open to donations. I'm shifting significant parts of my business into a nonprofit work, which means that many of you who want to be active, who want to do something, you might not feel that you have anything to offer, but you can support other people who do this for others. All right, I'm going to put the donation link here in this video. I apologize for all this sort of housekeeping type of stuff, but these are very unique times, guys. This is no child's play. All right, we are in here for the deep end now, and everybody who feels that they want to do something about this, you are at the right place, surrounded by the right people. There's already lots of people who are following me along here and facilitating these daily sacred selves, wonderful souls who have been doing this for a year and a half, okay, voluntarily to offer meditating with people on Skype. So with your donation, you also supporting that. All right. I want to thank all of you, this audience here on Skype. I'm not going away. I'm just changing the channel because the reach on Skype is limited. And I think that it's the time to step out. This needs to be available to anybody. And it was already available to everybody, but on Skype kind of deters people perhaps a bit. YouTube is the most neutral social media that I can offer, okay? Come there, send your friends, send your family. It has nothing to do with transCODES or anybody here. This is about being there for people, tuning into that warmth, that empathy, and that care, and hopefully contributing to raising the vibration for our entire collective so that we can get all through this. We will all get through this, guys. It's just a matter of how. Will you throw the towel? Will you take medication? Will you take drugs or things to just get by? Or are you willing to go within and actually step into your inner higher power? That is basically what we're being called to decide. I love you guys. I have a lot of honor and respect for all of you, especially those of you who've been around for decades. This is your wake-up call. I see you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.